Hello and welcome to a walkthrough of Readerful Online. Now, if you're new to Readerful, it's a flexible fluency solution which can form your whole school reading spine or absolutely complement any existing spine, which tend to be longer chapter books, especially as we go up the school. Well, with Readerful, the whole class books that we share with children are picture books and manageable in one session. This means that every child in your class, no matter their reading ability, can take part together on one complete book journey, really putting together your reading community. So on the front page here, we've got these quick green tabs. I suggest you start by viewing the video down here, which introduces you to the 5 experts who have worked together to bring us Readerful. Another great shortcut is this teacher support here. So if reading is on your agenda in any form, it could be reading for pleasure, fluency, vocabulary, then Readerful is really going to help, and the CPD is all built in. So the Readerful guide here gives you everything you need to know to fully embed Readerful into school. And if we scroll down here, you can see that there are videos from our experts. Now, these are fantastic as there are timestamps at the beginning of the video, which you could use in staff meetings, inset training, to structure your discussion with staff, as you can see. So you can stop here, you can have a discussion about your current practice, and you can think about actions going forward. Now, whilst we're on this page, I'm going to scroll down to a little hidden gem. There's lots of fluency resources on Readerful. You're going to find them everywhere as we go. So there's a document about how Readerful supports fluency. But these down here are additional resources, including teacher presentations, posters for classroom display, bookmarks so children can recommend reads. There are STEM sentences and reciprocal reading cards to encourage book talk in your class. Do you take a look at those? Right, let's get looking at a book for sharing. So I'm just going to go back to the home page. You can go this way, you can go to resources, and we're going to start by looking at year 2. So the books for sharing, there are 6 for each year group. They're designed to share with the whole class to model fluency and what it really means to be a reader. We're going to look at a non-fiction there are non-fiction, fiction, and a very valuable poetry anthology for each year group. We're going to look at non-fiction for year 2. This is Time Travel with Trees. There's an ebook for every shared book. On the front cover of the hard copies of the books, which are brilliant, a must-have, you have to have that hard copy and a spare floating around your classroom because your children are going to want to pick it up whenever there's free reading time. So book talk here prompts for your adult, so you can pick the book up and you can use it straight away. In this book, there are 3 of our knowledge themes. Now, knowledge themes are one of the golden threads of Readerful, and you will find them in every book throughout the series. And then we've also got 6 words to look out for, high utility, tier 2 vocabulary. This also means if you're sharing this book with your whole class, even your lower level readers are getting exposed to this vocabulary that's age appropriate. You can encourage them to use it in their speaking. They may even attempt it in their writing. Now, non-fiction book, but so engaging and plenty to talk about for layout and content when we're looking at non-fiction. And then on the back cover, we also have some more book talk to finish off our session and some information about our author there. Now, the fantastic thing about Readerful is that it is designed to keep children reading. So you've shared this book with them and they're really engaged. So what do they want to read next? Well, they might want to read another book about a tree. They might want to go and read some more facts about the natural world, or they might have been intrigued by one of our knowledge themes, Back in Time or Wild World. So they can use these symbols here to easily go and find their next read. Now, these 3 books form part of the independent leveled library. And you can see here, they're level 8, level 10, level 12. Now, that's not going to fit every child's perfect level and perfect interest. However, there is a document, which I'll show you later, which will signpost teachers and children to the next read for their children. Okay, now along with the ebook, we have a teacher presentation, which I'll show you just in a minute, and an introduction to the book, which is worth having a little look at because it's just a summary of one page, summary of the book. It tells you the words that we're going to encounter. And this shows you the structure of the sessions that you're getting for each of these shared books. And we'll look at these when we look at the presentation. Now, these down here can be done in any order. They can fit into your timetable. The sessions are designed to be 20 to 30 minutes long, but it's such a flexible series that you can really fit it into what you've already got. And so you could take one of these and do it once a week, and this shared book could take you through a half term. If it fits beautifully, if you're doing a history topic and it fits beautifully with that, you could do it in a day. You could take these sessions and do them in 1 week to fit with any WOW days or whole school initiatives. And down here are our knowledge themes, but look, an abundance of extra ideas. So you can keep the excitement of this book going for the whole term. Okay, so let's now look at the teacher presentation. So every sharing book, including the poetry anthologies, have a teacher shared presentation, and this is what they look like. Teacher notes will be there as well. Here's the structure, as you can see, with the sessions. So we're going to start with setting the scene. This tells you why somebody would be interested in this book. What's the appeal? Really find out. We're talking at Readerful, we're talking about how we're choosing books and what makes us want to read. Then we just take a whole session to read it aloud and really focusing on fluency. So try not to stop every page. You can stop and explain new words. You can look at the new words, but we're really modeling fluency at this point. Then we move on to a session about vocabulary. Again, remember, you can do any of these now in any order, fitting with your timetable. So there are the 6 words we saw at the start of the book, and the children now get an opportunity to explore them together with a partner and put them into context. So again, your lower readers, they're not going to come across these in their decodable books, but you are exposing them to them. You are bringing them into their literature life. Then we get building knowledge. This is the cross-curricular section. So we're time traveling with trees. We're learning a bit about trees, but we're also learning about eras of history. And this particular session talks about sources of information, artifacts, and how historians find out about the past. Then we move on to time to talk. This is the real book talk part, where children get the opportunity to explore what they enjoy about books, make connections with other books, and it really is great to structure that peer. It's like a book club in your classroom. And then we get the big ideas. I love this section. These are really, exploring what it means to be a human in our world. So this one is, we're looking at the importance of trees, deforestation, and then what we can do to look after these trees because we want them to stay forever. Then we get the fluency strategies at the end. This is where you're modeling fluency. We're using echo reading, readers theatre, and children, no matter their decodability, are being able to really have a go at becoming fluent readers. They can be done in partners, in groups, slightly different. Then the very last slide, they're all editable, so you can add and take whatever you want to, but it would be brilliant if you had some covers of books that are actually in your class and school library there that you could guide the children to. So there's a presentation. There are also extra activities, and that's a copy of the fluency text extract for prompt for every shared book. Right, I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to take you to a poetry anthology. So I've chosen year 4. And here it is down here. I'll open the ebook. The teacher presentation follows exactly the same setup as the one we just looked at, but for poetry. So fantastic. The tools are there for teachers to explore poetry. And what I love about this as an ex-teacher, you can see same layout, look, the words we're going to visit. As an ex-teacher, I used to spend hours looking for poetry that was appropriate for my age and the themes that I was trying to address. So here we go, a whole book of age-appropriate poetry. And on the back cover this time, instead of another book to read, we get the list of all the poets that are featured. Off you go in your pairs, go and explore these poets. You've got a whole week's worth of poetry there. And there's one for every year group from reception to year 6, primary 7, which means that the whole school can be working on poetry at the same time. Right, we've seen a non-fiction, we've seen a poetry. Now, this is another one of my favourite features of Readerful. We can go to year 6, primary 7, and find a picture book which is age appropriate and appealing and manageable. This is one of my favourites, Down the Oyoko Hill. So this is about a young lad who is waiting for the rain to come. Minimal text on each page, but the vocabulary, in fact, I'm just going to whiz back to you. The vocabulary here: compel, defend, overwhelm. Again, children that are still reading at a level below their age expectations, they need to see these words too. And here is a safe environment where they can discuss them with their peers and their teacher. So he's waiting for the rainy season. And the I won't show the teacher presentation. It takes the same format as the last one. The big idea in this teaching session is about anticipation, which I love. Again, what it means to be a human. Anticipation, let's explore how that feels. And the building knowledge section is about weather patterns. So could easily complement any topic work that you're doing. Now, I did say, didn't I, there were book lists. These are fantastic too. So I'm going to go to year 6 and planning. And here you can see a book list for year 6. I'm going to open that up. And it gives you the 6 books for sharing. Here they are with the themes. So you can choose these and the topics they cover. You could choose these to slot in with the curriculum topics that you're delivering or any values focus that school have got. So instead of finding one picture book that suits the whole school, why doesn't everybody use their picture book about shared planet to promote any themes that you're running in schools? There's the 6 sharing books, and then we go further down and we see the independent leveled library books. And again, I would love to see these in a class library. Children can come, I want to find out more about leaders. They can look for this symbol. They can read the little summary. And as you can see, just a quick flick through, there's fiction, non-fiction, lots of graphic novels as well, because we know they're so appealing to the older children at the moment, and series as well. You'll find the Neverdor running through a few levels in the Readerful Independent Library. Right, I think actually maybe just one more thing, talking about the independent library. If we go to the front again and come to Rise, so part of our independent library are the decodable books for older children who are either still working through their phonics phases or are reading below their age ability. So there's a lovely video from our expert Lindsay Picton about how it feels to struggle at reading from personal experience. Fantastic tips and advice there. Again, great CPD for anybody that's working with those children. Now, there is some assessment that you can use to ensure that children are working on the right Rise level book. The Rise books run from level 3 to level 6 through the phonics phases, but then continue to build fluency from levels 7 to 11. And we have end of level progress checks. This one is Oxford Reading Level 2. So we complete this with a child and it will tell us if they're ready to access the level 3 Rise books. If you want to find out more about these, do get in touch with your consultant. They're beautiful, engaging books for the older children, for Key Stage 2 children. I've just thought of one more thing that I need to show you. This is also a fabulous, fairly new edition. Let's try year 3. We click on year 3. If I scroll down here, past all the books, you will see that we get some fluency progress checks. Here's a guide to how to use these fluency checks. You can find them in various places on the online subscription. However, if you are struggling, just type fluency checks into the search bar at the top. So these are designed to be done one-on-one with a child, with an adult, hearing them read, and a judgment is made on all the fluency aspects from prosody to speed to accuracy, a full picture of their fluency and some comprehension questions as well. And the adult will decide whether, using the diagnostic, will decide whether the child actually is reading fluently at that level and could do with going up a level, whether they're building their fluency at that level, but actually let's stay for a while, or whether they're struggling to build their fluency at that level, they need to go back down to the level before. There are 2 texts, so children can revisit these fluency checks. Back to home. So I think for today, that's everything that I can show you in this time, but do get in touch with your local consultant. You can do that by going on the OUP website and type in contact consultant and enter in your postcode. Thank you for joining me.